Hello and welcome to the Trading Post podcast, where we unlock the secrets of business-to-business trade, dive into powerful networking strategies, and share my exciting journey of using a podcast to market my business instead of relying on SEO. I'm your host, Trader Stu. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Trading Post. I am Trader Stu. And this episode is sponsored by the Michigan Renaissance Festival and Metro Trading Association. And of course, I don't know if I told you guys this yet or not, but I got to give a shout out because I'm going to be in a video game with Press X to Play Games. Sarita is making, and her team actually is making a game called Get Prepped. And it's about a apocalyptic video game to where you go around and you gather items and get ready for whatever apocalypse is about to happen. And it can be anything from, civil unrest, I think a comet, a nuclear blast, famine. I guess there's going to be different things in there that you're going to be able to survive and get through. And I am going to be in the video game as the trader at the Trading Post. So this is going to be so cool. It's funny. I've always wanted to be in a video game. Like when I was a kid, I was like, it'd be cool. You know when you make it. You know how you know when you make it? It's when you're in a video game. That's how you know. And I always just thought that'd be so cool. And I guess I made it. Maybe this is it. This is it. I made it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not getting paid for it or anything like that, but we are trading kind of a little bit for it. Like, right? I'm going to give her a shout out, advertise the game. And, oh, by the way, if you don't know, you can advertise in her video game. It's $20,000. The average lifespan of a video game these days is 5 years. So if you do the math, it's $5,000 a year. 5 times 4 is 20. And you will be featured either on a billboard or at maybe your building as a safe house for the video game. And you gather there, and it's an area to where your name's on it and all the players within it gather. And then so you're kind of sponsoring the safe hold or whatever, the safe zone. So very cool concept. This is the way of the future. I mean, this is it. This is where everyone's hanging out now, video games. And they're not your, 14-year-old nephew or whatever playing a game in the basement. The average is, she said in her 30s is the average gamer age right now. And so these are everything from, they're not just like the stereotypical, dude in the basement of the mom's house. I mean, these are doctors, dentists, lawyers. These are ways to, these are the people who grew up playing these high-end video games, and now they're out there in the world with money, so, and this is how they blow off steam in the free time is to play video games. So check that out. And then also, I cannot wait for the Michigan Renaissance Festival to give me some ideas of what's coming up in the weekends for each weekend's themed. So, it's always fun. It's something every weekend. So one year it was like chocolate on on a weekend, and one year it was bring your dog. There's tons of dogs there. It was so cool. And then they dress the dogs up too. Like, there's dragons and different, one had it was like a knight, like a stuffed knight or whatever, riding the dog. And it was pretty excited to show it off. The dog had a ton of fun. You could tell. So definitely check out the Michigan Renaissance Festival this summer and fall. And my video game, Get Prepped, is supposed to be released this winter or spring if things go to plan. So, and then Metro Trading Association, I work for. It's my full-time job. And that's what this ended up being all about. This podcast is starting to spiral into looks like something of an endeavor. Like it was supposed to be just a way to share a little bit of ideas that I had about trade and barter and business to business and, sales and marketing in the realm of B2B. And it's kind of taken off on me, and it's fun. It's cool. It'd be cool if I got a little side come money from a little extra second income. That'd be neat, right? I mean, I am getting tickets, right? Michigan Renaissance Festival is sponsoring the show, so I'm getting tickets from them to give away, and I've also been invited to the media night, so there's that as well. one of the downfalls of doing this episode at work is the mail just came. So if you heard the jingle, I'll try and edit that out. But the door opened and the postman came in and did his thing. So, all right. So a couple of things I wanted to mention. I was talking to one of the members in our group, and we happened to meet each other at a different event. And I don't want to mention names; it's not important. But the topic of conversation came up. It seems like there's a lot of people that are experiencing some layoffs. And I know you might, depending on what you watch media-wise for your news, you may or may not have heard of all the layoffs. And I was part of them. I don't know if it was because of tariffs or whatever like that. This is all before that. This is supposedly because of weather. And my job, it needs to snow and ice, and if it doesn't, then business ain't good, So I was let go along with, I think it was 45 others in the plant. And of course, stuff like that doesn't make the news. It was nowhere in the Detroit news. It wasn't in the local news. I mentioned something about it on when I had a YouTube channel, and that I got laid off. And I started going crazy, like actually crazy. I don't know, people sit around all day and just don't do anything. It causes some mental illness, dude. If they say that the devil's our idle hands are the devil's playground. It truly is. I mean, I even had a new baby at the time to help out with my wife, and it still wasn't enough to keep me, going. And it was in the middle of winter. I got laid off in January, so it wasn't exactly like I go outside and go tinker around really. And even if I did, the baby needed me. So I don't know. It was a tough one. And so I'm back to work, obviously, over a year ago now. I think it's been a year. No, July. Oh, my God. It's only been a year. July has been a year since I've been back. So anyway, what we're talking about is getting laid off and people starting these, like, I don't know, entrepreneurship. He said, it seems like people are making up job titles. He's like, I swear to God, if I meet another business consultant or a business advisor or I don't know, a social media, I don't know, not an influencer, but like someone that helps you with social media, or an SEO creator, or, they just make up these titles. But, sometimes it's like the SEO creator thing is, I mean, I think it's a dead industry. It's snake oiled anymore these days from what I've been hearing, because AI has been taking over. Now, don't get me wrong. I know AI looks for certain keywords when you ask it a question, but when I use Perplexity, when you enter it, it scans everything within seconds, and it gives you a synopsis of, what it gathered. And I know some people say, oh, well, it'll tell you to eat a rock a day. That was one of its health advisor things, because somebody on Reddit made a joke and suggested, oh, you should eat a rock a day. So then AI doesn't sense sarcasm. You know what I'm saying? So people are like, oh, and I'm not saying they actually took its word for it and ate a rock a day. It was just a joke, but it took it seriously. Anyway, you can figure it out. You know that if you were to go out and do a Google search and then gather your own data and spend an hour or half hour doing that and read several articles and several web pages, you can tell that whatever AI just spit at you is a logical thing to take. So anyway, I digress on the SEO thing. I didn't mean to do that, but it is a dead thing, I think. And people are making up these businesses, and they have no money. So he's in marketing, and he has a paper, magazine or whatever like that, right? Like a print stuff. And it was just like, man, 10 years ago, I'd walk into a business and I'd say, hey, you can put an ad in my book, whatever it is, and for about the third of the price of a month of being in the yellow pages, and you get in there for the whole year. It's one ad print, and it lasts 12 months, right? Okay. He said, people write me checks, dude. Like, no problem. And it was 3 times as expensive as it is today. And that was 10 years ago. And when money, before inflation, everyone was making $17 an hour, right? So I don't know. All he was getting at is like, nobody has any money. They're opening up these businesses. And I think that is putting a false sense out there of how well the economy is doing because they keep touting, oh, this many small businesses registered last year to open. And everyone applauses, like, oh, yeah, that's great, But that doesn't mean anything. I don't know why that means anything because most of those fail. I know mine did. I don't know if it failed. I just gave up on it. So I had an LLC, and then I opened it in, I think it was January of 2020. And then 3 months later, we all got put on lockdown. So there went that one. And then I just was trying to scramble to get my money back on my drone that I put into and the camera equipment. And anyway, I got what I felt enough of my money back by doing gutter cleaning, which wasn't the original LLC. And then after I got my money back, my shoulders, I couldn't take it. I thought I was smart and got these carbon fiber poles, and I thought I was safe by standing on the ground and using a vacuum system called Skyvac. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't lift my arms up over my head. Like, I already got bad shoulders and I already shouldn't be doing that work. But I mean, I was out, I think it was like $3,500 or $5,000. So I had to get something back. So I did a few jobs, and then once I couldn't stand or walk or lift my arms up anymore, and I just beat my rig down, I shut it down. We call it liquidized it, or anyway, shut down the LLC. And so yeah, most of those LLCs don't mean anything anyway. And but I certainly, I know I did have money for Valpak. I put money in a Valpak, dude, and yeah, I got so much work that I had to turn work away, because they were putting me in Valpaks up north, and it was like, do I really want to drive an hour to go make, $200-300, whatever it was, to do a gutter cleaning. And so I don't know, I had to put money into it, and you got to advertise, dude. I just talked to a guy yesterday. He owns Viking. I got it right here. Viking Tree and Stump. Cool dude. I talked to him a little while back to try and sign up for Metro Trading Association. And I called him back because I got his flyer in my mailbox saying that he was in the area and, get a good discount. And you do get a good discount by if you get your trees trimmed while they're like on the road, right? Because they're already there. They already made the trip. And you're just helping them out by giving them extra work for the day. So they give you a great deal. And I got like 5 of my trees trimmed for like $700 last year. I did it. And the same thing. A guy was door knocking. And he was like, hey, we're up the road. We could do your trees here for, I think it was $700 or $750, whatever it was. And I was like, done deal, dude. Because I was waiting for that to happen again. I had a guy do that to me a year before, and I just wasn't ready for that. Like, I was like, whoa, $700. That's a heck of a door knock. But then I got a quote for it when I was ready to get the trees trimmed, and it was like $2,500, So I was like, okay, I got this money earmarked for the next time this happens. And sure enough, the next summer, it happened. It happens all the time on my street anyways. We're in a town full of trees, and these big, huge old trees. So there's often they die and, or weather, and they get blown over. So then you get tree trimmers in the area, and they hook you up because it just helps them out. Anyway, he said, the guy that owns Viking is like, I am 3 weeks out, dude. I can't do trade right now. It's not for me because I already got to buy another truck and trailer and another chipper, and I need another crew. All this stuff, right? So he's like, I got good problems to have. And I said, yeah, dude, it sounds like it. And he said, I'll tell you the secret is you got to advertise, dude. You just got to put money in advertising. It'll keep you busy, and of course you got to get, you got to be a good businessman and not advertise too much to where you're not profitable anymore. And obviously it sounds like he's not if he's buying a truck and trailer, but, or he is profitable, I'm seeing. And, he didn't overextend himself, and he's doing it right. And that's the thing, is that you got to advertise. And I consider joining a trade group is a way of advertising and marketing, because you're putting your name out there. You're in front of a bunch of business owners, and, you're going to get word of mouth marketing. You're going to get cash business from it as well. So, and my entry and level of entry is super low compared to joining a chamber or a BNI group or a Valpak ad or a newspaper ad. And it's just, if you join a trade group, you're pretty much, they don't make money until you make money. So find one in your area and do that if you can, because that's the greatest way to go, I think, to get going. I know I did it with my gutter cleaning business. So, if you're getting laid off, I guess is what I'm trying to say is that, or if you are laid off, have some money earmarked, if you have it, if you can, to get rolling. Because I see these people in these networking groups, and it's just really hard to get any advertising money, from them, because, and even like the bigger businesses I've noticed too, he goes, man, say an ad is like $1,200, they're easy numbers, I don't know. And he's like, yeah, they're like, can I do it in $100 a month, or can I do it like, 3 times or 4 times times 3? Can I do it in a few $100 a time for or each quarter? And he's like, dude, you don't have $1,200 for advertising, And before, he said people would just write checks. I hardly finished my sentence, and they already wrote me a check. I was on my way. So business is tough right now out there for everybody, I guess, is from what I'm noticing. Not just if you're importing things. Don't let that fool you. Like, oh, yeah, tariffs this. But I will say this. I had my roof quoted to get new soffits and fascia and gables installed last year. It was $5,000. This year, it was almost $9,000. No, almost $10,000. But minus the shed, so that was $1,000, and then minus the siding. So it was $7,500 compared to $5,000 last year. So it went up, was at 150%. And he was right. He said, I got to tell you, aluminum was like $100 per whatever, and now it's $150, per, I don't know if it's per foot or whatever it is. But, and so he was right on. Like, it went up 150%. So there's that aspect of it for like the roofing companies, and you get these textiles in. I get that. I do get that. So. This episode of the Trading Post Podcast is brought to you by the Michigan Renaissance Festival, happening weekends of August 16th through September 28th in Holly, Michigan. Step into the 16th century village of Holly Grove, where you'll find 17 stages packed with musicians, magicians, jugglers, and full contact armor jousting. Explore over 100 artisan booths for unique handcrafted treasures, and enjoy a wide variety of food from classic turkey legs to pub fare and international dishes. Each week features a different theme, like Pirates and Pups, Highland Fling, and Viking Invasion, so there's always something new to experience. Don't miss the new House of Dragons pub, high-flying rides, and the enchanting Mermaid Barbie this year. For tickets and all the details, just tap the Michigan Renaissance Festival link in my Linktree at linktree.com/TraderStew. Join the revelry thanks to the Michigan Renaissance Festival for supporting the Trading Post Podcast. Let's see. I want to go over a couple more things. I'm just kind of reading some bullet points I wanted to mention as well. So did you know that many of the people who get laid off start a business within 3 to 6 months? They don't do it, like I said, with no capital or an investment plan. So that's where the long-term success kind of falls away. 3 to 6 months after a layoff, that's because they find out that they're on Indeed and Monster, and they're like, I don't understand. I put out 100 applications and I got no callbacks, and I was part of that crew. Dude, my resume is pretty on point, dude. I mean, I had top secret clearance, and it expired by now, but I had one. I could easily get one again. I can fix anything. I'm certified in refrigerant and hydraulics and pneumatics, diesel engines, turbine engines. I was a flight engineer, a mechanic in the Air Force. I was in the hydraulics and snowplow world for, eight and a half years, I think it was. Yeah, 8.5 years. And nobody would call me back, dude. I get interviews, a couple here and there, but nobody. I could usually before I would just get hired on the spot. Like, perfect, we love it. You're in. When can you start? Can you put a 2-week notice in, or a 1 week? What's going on? And now they're like, okay, great. Well, we'll think about it and we'll call you back, and whatever. Like, yeah, never happened, dude. And I know people that have good resumes and good work ethic, and been at a job for a long time. They're laid off and they can't find a job. It's a tough racket out there. I see it all the time, even on Facebook and Nextdoor app. People are like, man, I don't know what to do. Like, I got laid off or fired or, whatever. They shut the building down. The business went out of business. And I got my unemployment ran out. I got a severance package, and it's all gone. And nobody will hire me, And I'm not saying well, go work at McDonald's. They're always hiring, Taco Bell. But yeah, but I don't know that I get that and I don't get that. So if it comes push come to shove, of course, yeah. But you know, it's not like you're getting 40 hours a week at these fast food joints. Yeah, they're paying $17 an hour, but at 12 hours a week or 6 hours a week, you know what I mean? It's not like you're getting 40 and making a few $100s a week or $500 a week. It's still not even enough. So, but yeah. What else we got here? Oh yeah. So this says that most post-layoff entrepreneurs are heavily reliant on family, friends, and unemployment benefits for startup capital. There's no formal investment or savings. Yeah, which limits their ability to scale or sustain operations. You know, it's even tough for them to get computers. I was surprised by how many people can't afford a laptop to get a business rolling, man. It's crazy. So then when you're under investing and you don't have enough funding, you struggle with the cash flow, of course. I don't know how they even pay rent. You know, you got no marketing, like I said. Yeah, the time management. So those are the top three challenges is what this is saying. Cash flow, marketing, and time management. And it's cited by post-layoff founders. So it says, of course, you know, these are stalled growth, early failure. So yeah, of course it does, man. Oh yeah. So another bullet point here. So a common barrier for startups is an unclear or unconvincing business vision and lack or demonstrated impact of early customer traction, which are critical for attracting investors and customers. See, I don't know about the investor thing. Investing in a small business, I don't know how people do it, man. You got to have so much cash flow and so much, revenue. How do you invest in a small business when you know that, what is it, like 45% fail within the first few years? It's tough. It's tough, dude. Especially right now with everyone trying to get it rolling off of unemployment benefits. And that's what they're doing. They're using unemployment to roll their business, you know? That's tough. It's a tough gig, dude. And I'm not saying I tried it too. You know, I'm not being hypocritical here. I lived it, man. I've been through it. You know, it's not like I'm like, oh, these guys are all fools. No, I was the fool. Like I was in it. I did it too. And I guess what? I failed because there's no way that you can keep it rolling, dude, without that. You know, the guy I was talking to, he said I put $100,000 in my business when I got it rolling. You know, you got to have some kind of capital and get it going. But there's no real commitment anymore, and it's gig work. That's what, you know what it is? I think that's what it is. People are treating the new businesses as maybe like gig work. Like, oh, I'll kind of do this on the side. I'll get a tax write-off. Oh yeah, and by the way, all these awesome tax write-offs that used to be happening since COVID, those are gone. I think it's really hard anymore these days to write off a part of your, you could do like a square footage of your living room and like the path to your bathroom. And I think you're part of your bathroom and then, a part of your utility bills and all that stuff for tax deductions. I'm pretty sure, and I might be wrong, but I don't care. I'll say it anyways. I don't think you can do that no more because I think I've asked before and they said, yeah, you can't. I mean, I think I asked my tax person. They're like, yeah, dude, it's really hard to prove that anymore because everybody's working from home right now, or were anyway, working from home, during COVID or post-COVID. I was working from home with my old job, from, of course, 2020 all the way through it, 24 when I got laid off. And at that point, I think we were doing 2 or 3 days a week allowed to be working at home. It was kind of like whatever you wanted to do. And I had a cool gig at home. I had an awesome setup. My other two buddies didn't have as nice a setup. They were at the kitchen table or in the basement. And I had like my own office. I had a desk and I had my 3 monitors and I had all the setup. And I didn't really have any kids running around yet. My stepson was around every 2 weeks, but in the winter and fall and spring, he's gone. He's at school all day, right? So it was perfect. By the time he went to school, I logged in, and a half hour after he got home, I logged out. So there was no real distraction. It was nice. But now, oh God, I can't imagine working from home right now with my kid right now, running around. He's only 2. He's 2 next month. That'd be tough, dude. And the problem is he'd know I'd be in that room with the door closed. I mean, it would be brutal. I don't know if people do it or why they want to keep doing it, working from home. Because I don't know about most kids, but this kid that I have, he is determined. If he knows you're in there, he will break that door down, dude. So anyway, that's it for now. I just wanted to go over a few things and post my opinion on, the the entrepreneur of today, it seems like, or I guess I should say the post-layoff entrepreneur. And not to discourage anybody, it can be done. And, there's stories out there, and you hear about the 1 or 5%ers that rocket, make it happen. But just know going into it, you got to have a unique game, because when I go to these networking events, everyone is kind of like doing the top same 10 things, maybe 5 things that they're all doing. It's all with, maybe AI or social media, or I don't know. I don't really understand the business coach thing. Like, unless you're, I don't know, like a Bill Gates or something like that, like a really successful, like you're making millions and you sold a few businesses, and then I'll take your advice. But if you don't have a business, then I don't understand why I would take the advice. I don't know. At any rate, that's it for now. Whatever you do out there, be good, or be good at it.
The thoughts and views expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host and do not reflect the official policy or position of Metro Trading Association. Although the host is an employee of Metro Trading Association, this podcast is intended to educate entrepreneurs on the benefits of professional trading regardless of their location. Additionally, the host reviews various pieces of camping gear due to the Association of Trade, Barter, and Prepping.